I hope you guys have had a good restful weekend. I know that things are starting to open up a little bit more here in Idaho, so I hope everyone is still staying safe and still doing, making sure that you're still keeping your social distance and keeping yourself healthy and safe. But in the meantime, we do still have class. We'll get on started. Today for class is going to be a lot lower key than what we've typically done. We're going to be doing a lot of wrist and finger work today. So what you'll need, if you saw the Facebook post or if you were in class last week and saw the video, you'll need, 1, 2 sticks, dowels, perhaps if you've got a duster on hand, anything that's laying around the house that you could use to practice with. We're going to do some work today to work on some strengthening work, stuff that you can do on your own time, just when you're around the house, maybe even watching TV, some simple stuff. But first and foremost, we'll get ourselves warmed up. We will go through some kicks. We'll go through just a couple different exercises, and then we'll hop into that. So as I've started class the past few weeks, we're going to take a deep breath in, breathing in all that positive energy around us, and we're going to exhale any negative energy we might be holding on to. So take that deep breath in. Exhale. Again. And exhale. All right. So we're going to start out with 50 jumping jacks, 20 squats, 20 high knees, and 10 push-ups. So find some space, and let's get going. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 50. All right, let's do 20 squats. Get those feet anywhere from shoulder to hip width apart. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. All right, we're going to do high knees. We're just going to work on that right side first, drawing it up to side as if we're going into a side kick. Light touch to the ground and right back up. 10 each side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're going to bring it down to the floor. We're going to do 10 push-ups real quick. So whether you're in a plank position or on your knees, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, stand it up. All right, real quick, we are going to do 5 kicks each side of the following. We're going to do stretch, front snap, roundhouse, and side kick just to warm us up a little bit further. And then we're going to start stretching it out. So right leg back. If you're still feeling a little cool with that body, keep those kicks low. Don't worry about getting them high. We're just getting the blood flowing. All right, stretch kick. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch. 5 snap kicks, focusing on thrusting those hips forward, focusing on driving the ball of the foot with that kick. Ready? Back leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch. Roundhouse kick. Again, with these, focusing on a lower kick, focusing on turning that bottom foot out, knee pointing in the direction we're kicking, and following through with that foot, either kicking with the ball of the foot or with the top of that foot. Your choice. Back leg, we're going to do 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And switch. All right, 5 side kick. Focusing on bottom foot opening up, drawing that foot up, turning over, kicking with that heel or with the blade of the foot. Ready. Back leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's stretch it out a little. So we've gotten that breath going a little bit. So take that deep breath in. Exhale. One more. And exhale. Let's start widening those feet out. We get those elbows on the inside. Side to side stretch. Knees over those toes. And press that right arm in. Left arm in. All right, from here, we're going to take that right foot. We're going to do our front stance stretch. We're going to take it a little lower. So shoot that leg back, straight leg, reach it down. From here, turn those feet, toes pointing forward. You want those heels still touching the floor, but you should be able to wiggle the toes as you go down. Knee over the toes and down. And bring it up. Turn. Front stance stretch. Other side. And bring it low. All right, turn those toes forward and shift it over. Heels on the floor. All right, shift those feet in a little closer together. Hands on those knees. We're going to circle them around to the right side first. Ready? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last stretch. You're going to balance, pick up that foot. You want your knee pointing to the floor, pulling your knees close together, pushing the pelvis forward. So you have a straight back. You're aiming to pull that foot back to your glutes without your leg being pulled behind your standing leg. And switch. All right, and relax. We're going to shake those hands out a little bit. Let the wrists loosen up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to bring those arm circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Now that we've loosened up a little bit, we are going to do a couple of strengthening exercises. The point of these exercises is to get our wrists, our hands, and our fingers ready for the work that we're going to do. So I'm going to bring you guys down to a lower level so that we can see things a little bit better. All right. So from here, have your weapons ready off to the side, whatever kind of weapon you're going to use. And these are going to be optional exercises. If you have weak wrists or if you have sore wrists, just be sure to go easy on yourself. Maybe take a break from some of these, but do try some of them so we can warm them up a little bit more. We're going to start out with just regular old push-ups. So we did some of those already. We're going to do a couple more. We're going to do 5 regular push-ups. So on your knees if you need to, up into a plank if you can. Get those hands ready. We're just going to do 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you found that really challenging, stay with the regular push-up, go onto your knees. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, and you are especially black belt level, get onto the first 2 knuckles, make a fist, balance on those 2 knuckles. The one thing you want to make sure that you're doing with these is you don't want the wrists to pop forward or back. You don't want your wrists to pop out to the side. If this is the first time you're trying them, try really, really slow push-ups. Try them on your knees. If you don't feel comfortable trying them, don't do them at all. Just stick with your regular push-ups. But these help strengthen those wrists. And for me, I like using these because sometimes when I'm doing a lot of regular push-ups, my wrists get tired. So we're just going to do 5. Ready? 1, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. The final push-up I'm going to show you guys tonight are fingertip push-ups. So these, just like they sound, you're on your fingertips. It's as if you are making a nice wide grip. Imagine you've got a large softball in your hand. Is about how I would describe it. So you imagine you've got 2 softballs on the ground. You put those fingers over the softballs. You're going to balance on those fingertips. Again, if those knuckle push-ups were hard, or if the regular push-ups were hard, stick to regular push-ups. We're going to do 5 more, but these are great for strengthening those hands. We're going to do 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, good work. We're done with the push-ups. Don't worry about them anymore. Next, we're going to just focus on a regular plank. We're going to do a 30-second plank. And again, with your plank, you can choose how you did your push-ups. Regular plank up on the hands. You can plank on your knuckles, or you can plank on your fingertips. It's up to you, but we're going to do a 30-second plank, doing what's comfortable for you. We're going to start that timer. Get ready. Get set. Let's go. Plank it for 30 seconds. Nice work, guys. Keep it going. Now we're just warming up the hands and the wrists. So again, don't make it too hard on yourself. Just make it enough so that you can warm them up. And bring it down. Nice work. Shake it out. The next exercise I'm going to show you, and again, we're just going to go through these once so that you can see different ways to warm up those digits, warm up those hands, warm up those wrists. We're going to do a plank to pike. So plank to pike, you're always going to start in a regular plank. You're going to push all the way back into a downward dog position, and then back down into your plank position. Once you bring it back down to that plank, you want to make sure you have a nice flat back the whole time. When you're in that pike, you want to make sure that your neck is neutral and that you're not looking up or looking down. You want to have a nice straight neck that's in line with that back. So we're going to do 5 of these. So get into your plank position. We're going to go for 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5. All right. The last exercise I'm going to show you guys is going to be a hand-to-hand tap. So you get into your plank position, and all we're going to do is tap and tap. So you're going to tap one hand to the other. We're going to do it as a 2 to 1 count. So each time we do a 1, 1, that's going to count as 1 count. So we're just going to do 5, starting with our right hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5. All right, good. Now there's one final exercise I'm going to show you guys that we're not going to do together, but it's just something to be aware of. So at home, if you have a tennis ball laying around, these are super cheap at Walmart. You can get like 3 of them for I think $2. But you can use these to help strengthen your hands and your grip as well, which is great for when we do things like weapon work. All you have to do is hold it in your palm and squeeze it and release it. Tennis balls tend to be a little bit more pliable so that you're not going to hurt your hand by gripping too hard on something that's not going to give way. These are great because they'll give a little bit and you know that you're still going to work the muscles by gripping and releasing. So just something fun to do at home. If you're watching TV, you can work on gripping a tennis ball, working on that hand grip. All right, so let's grab our weapons or our makeshift weapons, whatever we've got today. We're going to do some stuff that we can work on with scream-a-sticks, and these are things that you can eventually progress to using a bow staff with, but it's always good to start small and work our way up. So let's get on started. All right, now challenging space to work in. All right, so the first thing we're going to work on are figure 8s. You'll see figure 8s in your bow staff form. If you're not quite up to bow staff form, that's okay. It's still great to work on these and getting used to working with something in your hand. So we're just going to start with a single hand. I always like working with single hand figure 8s because they work my wrist and it helps me better prepare to use 2 hands. So to start out with, we're going to start with a nice light grip on your stick, whatever you're using today. I'm going to have it between my thumb and my pointer finger. And all I'm going to do is let the tip of my stick dip down, come up, and down, and come up. You want a nice light grip on it and let it flow in a nice, smooth figure 8. If I'm gripping it with all 4 hands and I try to dip it down and dip it down, it can't dip the other way because obviously my wrist doesn't turn all the way. So to compensate for that, that's why we have to have it nice and loose, but controlled. So just go through some figure 8s. I'm going to count out 10 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now you start to feel it in your wrist a little, especially if you don't work with them as much. We're going to switch hands. We're going to try it the other way. We always have one hand that's more dominant than the other. For me, it's my right hand. So it's always good to work both sides so that we can be ambidextrous. Ready? Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now, once you get used to doing it between your thumb and your pointer finger, start trying to expand a little bit with that. Start with your figure eight with one hand, then maybe transition into the other hand. Do a 1, 2, as it comes back around, switch hands 1 and 2, and then try it again. Now this is a little harder to do with a smaller weapon or a smaller stick. So if you have at home your bow staff, if you have the room for it, or another great option, if you're practicing at home and you find that it gets a little bit difficult to work with something like this, you can always grab a broomstick. This is a PVC pipe. My ceilings are a little high, so this is why I can do this at home, but if your ceilings are low, stick to your small stick. You can always twist it with one hand. Your other hand, switch it, one hand, other hand, and switch it. Try to change up what sides you change on. Right? Keep it nice and relaxed. And only when you start to feel confident is when you should start speeding it up. Once you start to get to your bow staff forms and you start working with these, it's good to start working single-handed on your figure eights, but also working on bringing it closer and closer to your body, nice and slow. Now again, if you don't have your PVC pipe, your bow staff, you don't have the ceilings, work with your simple stick and work on nice little twirls at home. Okay, now that we've gone through those, let's go through working on our individual digits. So we've had a little bit of practice working with twirling between our forefinger and our thumb, but now we're going to work on strengthening our hand and our fingers a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a figure eight with the pointer finger and the thumb again. But now that we've got the rhythm of it, we're going to switch our grip to between our pointer finger and our middle finger, and we're going to do the same thing. It might become a little bit harder. Motion might be a little bit more limited because we're not used to doing our figure eights between these two fingers, but still going to work those muscles. Do about 10. Once you get through that, we're going to switch over again to our middle finger and our ring finger next. And you're just going to repeat the process. Woo. It's going to get harder and harder as you move down the hand. Take it slow. It doesn't have to be perfect, but keep that stick between those two fingers. Then, of course, last one, you're going to do it again between your pinky finger and your ring finger. Now, this is going to be the hardest one of all. You might not get a lot of motion on it. You might lose it, and that's okay because what we're working on is working on that finger strength. Take it slow. Make sure there's no one around you that you can throw this at, or especially if you're going a little faster. We want to keep it slow. Get the rhythm of it. Do about 10. And once you finish up, you can switch hands. Again, same thing. Once you get through your 10, switch it up. Do it again. Good. And you just keep switching it until you get through 10 between each finger. And one thing that you'll find is interesting is sometimes when you do these, it's actually easier with a larger weapon or a heavier weapon, but we always want to practice small and light to begin with, because if you drop that or if it flies somewhere, we don't want anyone to get hurt. We don't want anything to get broken. Whew. And like I said, you're always going to have one hand that's more dominant than the other. Some movements are going to be easier on one hand than the other, and that's totally normal, totally okay. Do your best to work with it and keep practicing. I know for me, even years later, my left hand is still not as good as my right hand. All right, so we've gone through practicing those figure eights between each set of fingers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do another exercise that's great for the hands, great for the fingers, and it's moving your stick in between your hands. So we're going to basically transition from one set of fingers to the next in a circular motion, just one at a time. So if I can get a little closer to the camera, you'll start with your pointer finger and your thumb. You're going to dip it down, and you're going to basically change between your fingers each time. You're going to push, dip it down, and you're going to have to maneuver your fingers out and around your stick and then back the other way. Okay. And obviously the hardest one's always going to be making it back to the thumb. When we do it slower, it's actually a little harder, but once it speeds up, it gets a little easier. And you can get the momentum behind it. This one's a great one to do, especially if you're watching TV, because this one doesn't have it flying around everywhere. And it's nice and simple. You can even do this with pencils. You can maybe when you go back to school and you're sitting there listening to your teacher, and if you need to fidget with something, have a pencil around, fidget by practicing your weapons techniques, right? And you might be wondering, why are we going over these? So when you have a good handle on your weapons and you're able to maneuver them between your hands and your fingers, you're actually able to control it better in things like your forms. So I know that for a lot of people, when we do bow staff forms and we start with our bow staff forms or our eskrima stick forms, we over grip. So this is going to help us keep from over gripping and work on loosening up that grip while still having control of that weapon. And again, like I said, my right hand is always better than my left hand. And even years down the road, I'm still practicing having the same control with my left hand that I do with my right. But that's why we practice, is so we can get better at what we're doing. All right, once you've had a chance to try that out on each side, there is one more thing that we're going to go over. This one's a little trickier. This one you want to do when you have plenty of space around you, and it's a little bit more difficult. These are going to be what I like to call hand flips. So you have your stick, you're going to work on, or hand rolls, you're going to work on rolling it over the hand and catching it. So what you do with these, and this is also easier with a heavier weapon, but we start light and small because we don't want it to go flying and hurting anyone or damaging anything. So you can start out by gripping the end of your eskrima stick, your makeshift weapon. You're going to let it roll over the top of the hand. You have to let go of it and then catch it. So nice and light, let momentum do the work for you. And that's why if you have a heavier weapon, just like I just did, if I don't watch it, it's going to go flying. So you want to take it nice and slow to begin with. Let momentum do the work as you let it roll over the hand and then catch it. You can also work on bringing it back the other way. Let it roll over the hand and catch it. And again, it's always good to work with both hands and bring it back the other way. So those are just some simple exercises that you can do at home, working on your hand strength, working on your wrist strength, working on your finger strength. And when you get used to doing it, if you ever go into a tournament, they are great for throwing into your tournament weapon forms. We are going to work on another piece of weapon work, but before we do that, if your wrists, your hands, your fingers are feeling tired, here's a quick stretch we can do. We can stick that hand out straight in front of us, pull those fingers back. And you're going to the other side. And then finally, sticking that hand down, gentle push on those knuckles. And other way. All right. So shake out those wrists. One other thing you can do, if your hands start to feel it at home, if you're practicing stuff like this, again, if you've got a tennis ball, you can have that tennis ball on the floor. You can roll that hand out. You can press it between two hands and roll it between them and feel that pressure. Massage out those muscles. Or a simple hand massage. You can take your thumb, press from the bottom of the palm, and massage it up the hand on both sides. Because I know that once I do a lot of that work, my hands start to feel tired, they get sore, and I need just a quick massage, quick stretch to get them back to normal. All right, so last week I promised that we would get into a little bit of a comma form. You can use your Eskrima sticks, but I'm going to pull out my commas. We're going to work with those today. So for those of you who aren't familiar with what a comma is, it is a Japanese weapon. It is just a simple handle and a blade. These are really great weapons to use if you want a good flashy form. They're really fun to work with. Any of the exercises we did with our Eskrima sticks in terms of rolling, in terms of, passing it between your fingers, you can do with these, but wait to do that if you have a set, because even though these are dull and they are just for performance, that tip can poke something and they can hurt. So let's just be careful. Really quickly, before I pull out mine, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you back and forth between the commas and the sticks. Just a small part of a comma form that I learned years ago that one of my instructors taught me in the past. But the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you with these, we're going to work on cutting motions. So with the comma, it's essential to be able to cut in and out, nice and strong. You almost want to imagine that you've got a stick or something in front of you that you're going to cut in towards. You're going to slice through on both sides. Once you get used to doing that, you want to make it a nice fluid, quick motion, in and out. Experiment with which arm is on top for you. The one thing you don't want to happen with this is you don't want the commas to come up. You don't want them to come down. You want a nice straight in motion and then straight out. So you want to focus on keeping them parallel to one another the whole time until you turn them, and then there we go. So just go back and forth a couple times. If I'm doing it with my Eskrima sticks, it's the same concept. I'm going to grip about midway through though. I don't need the whole stick for this. I'm going to grip about a third of the way up, come in, straight, out straight, in straight, out straight. And if you notice, if you're doing this after a while, it becomes a great shoulder workout. In and out. All right. So a portion of the form that I'm going to show is going to be not quite the beginning. We're going to go somewhere in the middle. But we are going to start out with our right leg as our balance. Our left leg is going to be up. And we're going to hold one hand high and one hand low. So the way that's going to work, you want to imagine that your palm is almost like a feather. You want your feather pointing forward and your other feather pointing down. So I've got one hand high, one hand low. Using that same motion I just used with my stick, I'm going to step out into a front stance, in and out. Okay? So from here, in, out. And again. All right, let's try that on the other side because we are going to go back and forth. We're going to try it on both sides. We're going to start putting things together. In and out. All right, so again, let's start in and out. We're just going to go back and forth for a couple of them. And we're going to switch. And in and out. Good. If I'm using my Screama sticks, it's the same concept. We're going to strike in, strike out. You can use this same form for a Screama stick form very easily. Switching it back and forth. Good. All right. We're going to add on to that a little bit. Yes. All right. So now we've got our in and out motion. I'm going to add in a reverse strike with it. So from here, I've got 1, 2. I'm going to follow through with a nice clean cut. If I've got a comma, or if you end up having a pair of commas, again, you want that blade pointing forward. It's almost like I'm going to stick it into something before I pull it back out. So I've got my in, out, and through. Let's try that on the other side. I've got my in, out, and through. Okay, we're going to go back and forth trying the same thing. Other way. In, out. In, out. Good. Now again, if I've got my Screama sticks, I've got my same thing in, out. I'm just going to come through and strike. Other side. So I've got in, out, and strike. In, out. Just go back and forth for a couple. You want nice, clean, strong motion with no matter what weapon you're using. All right. Next, what we're going to do, once we've got our in, out, strike, other way, we're going to face it forward. We're going to step in, out, and double strike. So we're taking that same thing that we just did both sides, and we're going to in, out, and double. All right? So if I've got 1, other side, 2, now I'm going to face front, 3, and double. So try the in and out. Now add that double. Good work. Okay. Once you've got a feel for it, again, if I've got my Screama 6, I can modify this. If I step through, in, out, double. If you imagine a person in front of you, it's almost like you're coming in towards the neck, out towards the neck, and then down on either side of the shoulders. So slice, slice, down. All right, we're going to do that a couple more times. 1, other side. 2, 3. 1 more. And 1 more. Good work. All right. We're gonna build on that one more time. So I've got my slice, slice, and down. Other side, I've got my slice, slice, and down. I step it forward, slice, slice, down. Now I'm going to add in a low block, or a low chop, middle chop, and reverse strike. So again, I come in 1, 2, down, low chop, middle chop, reverse chop with my commas. All right, low, middle, and high. The idea behind this is that I'm coming down to around the belly region, up to around the neck region, and coming down around the shoulder region. 1, 2, and up. Another thing you can think about with this is you can also aim a little lower towards the groin region. But for me, I've always liked aiming a little bit higher with my chops. So low, mid, and high. All right. So if you're modifying that with your strikes, we've done a 1, 2. Again, you're going to strike, strike, and come up and over with your scream stick. 1, 2, and over. All right. We're going to put those two together real quick. I've got 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3. As I come front. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. All right. One more time. I've got 1, 2, 3. Other way. 1, 2, 3. I bring it front. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. One final thing we're going to add on. After I've got my 1, 2, 3, we're going to add a little bit of flair into it. We're going to bring in a front kick. I'm going to chamber my front kick. And I'm going to change my footing as I do a side kick. I'm going to extend my bottom arm out and my top arm straight as I look front real quick. So I'm going to look front real quick as I chop, but I'm going to look back with my side kick to see where I'm going. I'm going to look. I'm going to chop, chop with my side kick as my arms go in different directions. Now, obviously, in real life, this is not as practical, but for a form, it's really flashy. So I've got my 1, 2, 3. I've got my front kick. Change over. One hand's going in front. One hand's going underneath. I'm going to look front, and then I'm going to switch my gaze quickly to my side kick. And then as I come down, I'm going to bring it around, kneeling, nice circular motion. I'm going to slice down and out. So we're going to take that slow one more time. I've got my 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a snap kick, chamber it. I'm going to cross my arms, quick look, and back. As I come around, slice. So again, if I've got my scrim sticks, we're going to modify that. I've got my 1, 2, 3 snap kick. Instead, if I want, I can swoop it with my stick. I can swoop under and over as I kick, and then come down and around. Another option would be you can jab with your stick. So again, if I've got my snap kick, instead of swooping under with my arm, I can jab it out as I strike and then come around for another strike. So nice and slow. One more time. 1, 2, over, snap kick. This time I'm going to jab and strike as I kick, come around, and strike. All right. So a lot of balance work. We're going to put that together, and then we're going to finish up with weapons for the night. So we'll go through it 2 more times. So I've got my first position. 1, 2, reverse strike. Other side. 1, 2, reverse strike. I'm going to step forward. 1, 2, double strike. Low, mid, high strike. Front kick. I'm going to jab and strike as I kick. And then I'm going to come around with a swiping strike. All right, one more time. Other side. Got 1, 2, strike. Other way. 1, 2, strike. Bring it forward. 1, 2, double strike. Low, mid, high strike. Front kick. Jab and strike. And through. All right. So because we've gone through this on YouTube, you guys are always welcome to come back and watch that at a later time and try it out. But to finish up our class for the night, we're going to do a couple more kicks, a couple more stretches, just to get a little extra cardio in. And then we'll finish it up for the night. So let's do another 5 stretch kick on each side, another 5 front snap kick, 5 roundhouse, 5 side kick, and then we're going to stretch it out and call it a good night. So right leg back, fighting stance. Let's do 5 stretch kick. We should be warm at this point, so let's make them good. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. Front snap kick. Hands up. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And switch. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And switch. Roundhouse. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Sit to his feet. Last one. Side kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. All right. Shake it out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. A little slower. Exhale. One more. Exhale. All right. We're going to bring it to the floor and stretch it out. So I thank you guys for taking the opportunity to try out some of this class tonight. I know it's not the typical class that I do, and I know a lot of it is kind of observing and trying things as you go through. Let's bring those feet in, butterflies. But I did want to share some of the exercises that I go through when I'm working on things like my escrimistic forms, my bow staff forms, because we want to be able to handle our weapons with care, but we also want to make sure that we're able to control them. And it takes a lot of time and practice to be able to have kind of a finesse with them. And we're always practicing, even once we get up in levels. We're always practicing, trying to perfect our art. So this is just a couple exercises you can use to perfect your art. And once we get back into the studio, feel free to grab a hold of some weapons and practice on the floor when class isn't going on and we're warming up. Or feel free to, like I did earlier today while I was watching some Netflix, grab something at home and just start practicing while you watch. If you don't watch TV, maybe you do it while you are sitting and chilling with your family. I've been doing a lot of that these days as well. All right, bring those legs nice and wide. We're gonna take a deep breath in. And we're gonna exhale, stretching forward, flat back. We'll hold here for a sec. We're gonna walk those hands over to the right hand side. We're gonna reach with both hands first. If you can't touch both hands, the leg, totally fine. From there, take your right hand, place it in front, turn the rib cage up and open, reach up and over, and stretch over to the side. Whew. All right, walk those hands over. Reach with both hands. And place that left hand down. Turn that rib cage up and open, and reach up and over and stretch. All right, we're gonna walk it back to center. We're gonna take a deep breath in. When we exhale, we're gonna push and we're gonna stretch a little bit further. So deep breath in, exhale. Hold it for a second. We're gonna take a deep breath in, and when we exhale, we're gonna walk those hands out straight. Ready, inhale, exhale. From here, hold where you are, inhale. When you exhale, go a little lower, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Walk back. All right. Shake those legs out. Oh. Nice work, guys. We're gonna do a couple more stretches. First, we're going to put our right leg on top of our left, and we're going to stretch down and out, nice and straight. You should feel the stretch in your IT band or the side of your leg, up into your hip and your glute. And switch. All right, good. All right. So that is it for class today, guys. I know we're cutting it short just a little bit today, but a lot of today was a lot of watch, practice, and do. A lot of this is going to be stuff that you're going to have to practice on your own. Studio, we are going to have the ability to self-focus a little bit, hopefully. So, try some of these exercises on your own. See if they help. Especially work on stretching after you do them. Remember to stretch those wrists, stretch those hands. We don't want them to do all that work and not go through any stretching afterwards. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure to teach. I hope you guys are staying healthy and well. But enjoy your evening and see you later. Have a good night.